Welcome back to CTV News Channel. I'm Todd Vanderheyden. This next story triggering a lot of buzz and a lot of opinion. A concert by British band Coldplay in Boston, Massachusetts turned into a bit of a nightmare, well, for two people who were caught on camera snuggling. It's now alleged that the camera caught a married tech CEO cuddling with one of his colleagues.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Yeah, well, she turns and he ducks. The video has racked up millions of views online. The couple in the video later identified as the CEO of a company named Astronomer, Andy Byron his name, as well as that company's head of HR, Kristen Cabot. Byron is reportedly married with two children. Neither has officially commented yet, although Byron did come out with a letter apologizing for what happened, and he also seemed to blame that camera for taking his image and that of the woman with him without his prior consent. He also said there will be ongoing conversations about the consequences of this for him, both personally and as well as professionally. Let's bring in Lavinia Latham. She's a workplace investigator and an employment lawyer. She's joining us from the Greater Toronto area. Hey, good to have you with us. Your take on this story, big picture, and all the buzz it's generating, Lavinia.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate set of circumstances. I can't help but chuckle a little when I see that video, especially since I don't know what was meant to come out of, ducking out of the way. But very unfortunate set of circumstances that I'm sure both of them are very much regretting at this point, and absolutely awful for the company itself.
Yeah, absolutely, because now it's in the spotlight and there are a lot of questions. I mean, she was a subordinate to him, so an employee. He's got a wife and two kids, so I'm curious how you see this kind of playing out. We did get a statement from him where he sort of, apologized, but then also blamed the camera for capturing him. What do you make of that?
Yeah, well, here in Canada, so of course this is a U.S. situation. It's a U.S. company. In Canada, the workplace environment, it extends beyond just the workplace. It extends to any environment that you might be engaging in with a, employee, a colleague, any individual really that you would only have a relationship with because of the workplace environment. So the workplace is absolutely triggered here, and the relationship is very inappropriate. It's inappropriate in the sense of her role as, senior executive. She's in HR. It's absolutely inappropriate in terms of his role as the CEO. Very toxic workplace environment for anybody who is within their teams, anyone who's working around them, and extremely unprofessional.
Yeah, this is an artificial intelligence company, just so everyone is aware, known as Astronomer. And this guy was at the very head. There have been other issues now that have come to light about some workplace complaints over his conduct over the years. Your take on how this may play out? You're just outlining a moment ago, Lavinia, about how this kind of breaks or crosses a lot of lines here. What do you think he and she might be facing in the days ahead?
Yeah, well, they're absolutely facing some sort of a workplace investigation. So, I mean, the evidence is quite strong. We all saw the video for ourselves where, they're kind of canoodling. They look like they were engaging in some type of a private moment, to refute the claim that he made that, it captured a private, intimate moment between the two of them. It's a concert. Last time I checked, concerts are quite public venues. It's the public. And so be it whether it was Coldplay, whether it was another individual, it doesn't matter, right? They were engaging in very inappropriate behaviors. And so for the workplace environment, this would absolutely have that video would pose as a very strong piece of evidence. But, due process does demand that we still go through the parameters of, or rather the processes around workplace discipline. So for both of them, of course, there's the fallout as it relates to their reputations. For both of them, there's the fallout that comes from potentially losing your job. As someone who is the HR chief, as I understand it, it raises the question, was there any favoritism? Was there power imbalances, risk of coercion as it relates to how she does her job and how he does his job? And I mean, of course, we don't 100% know all of the moving parts around this particular set of unfortunate circumstances. So I don't wish to go too strongly as it relates to their wrongdoing. But as it relates to the fact that there is an issue, factually, there is an issue. Both individuals are married, both individuals are part of this organization. It does call into question now how will the workplace respond? Because according to Canadian law, the Occupational Health and Safety Act, and also, of course, the Ontario Human Rights Code, the Canadian Human Rights Act, employers generally, in the framework of an employment environment and employment context, they do have a responsibility to have a psychologically safe workplace, a safe workplace, not just physically, but psychologically as well. And so if you have this type of video that's circulating, you have this type of behavior that might seemingly be perhaps deemed appropriate if nothing comes of it, what kind of environment would that create for the rest of the employees who are there? There's also this duty to disclose. So while many workplace environments don't necessarily outright prohibit relationships between employees, there is a duty to disclose, particularly where there might be some bias or some concerns around the ability to have sound judgment and to be unbiased, particularly as it relates to things like performance reviews or bonuses or promotions. Whenever money gets involved, things get a little bit hairy. So there's so many different ways that this can go. An outright discipline in terms of sanctions, so losing one's job, would be, I think, a little extreme. It's not out of the purview of the board to do. The board has a responsibility to absolutely protect the interests of the company.
Yeah, let me just jump in, because there's also, there's hoax letters that are floating around, and there's spoofs that are out there, and the letter that was supposedly issued by the CEO turns out that it was a hoax. So we just, we don't know exactly what's going on. A lot of people piling on social media, making fun of this. Just quickly, it's a very strange story, isn't it?
Very, very strange story.
Good to see you, Lavinia. Thanks for taking a bit of time for CTV. Much appreciated.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Lavinia Latham with her read on that story.